Welcome into Ride the Line, the greatest podcast in sports betting entertainment. My name is Tanner Kern, certified G, bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is G Money Grant Mitchell. Grant, I believe we swept the entire show on Monday, right?
Yep, it was only 2 picks apiece, but you know what? That's an easy 4-0 day for the Ride the Line boys, and it was easy pickings out there. We tried to tell you, we told you the Giants are not a good football team, and the Seahawks were. So with a 1.5 point line, made that pick very easy.
So I was reading some previews before that game, and after we got off the podcast, after we recorded, I'm looking at everything. There are people picking the Giants. A good amount of people picked the Giants, but I think they got in their own heads because they're like, with the New York schedule moving forward, this is a must-win game. This is one they have to win. Like, what makes you think they're going to win without Saquon Barkley, without Andrew Thomas, with Daniel Jones, who is as bad, maybe worse than Mac Jones?
Yeah, the Joneses, keeping up with the Joneses does not mean a whole lot anymore these days. Now, Daniel Jones, I don't want to bang my own drum, but you know what? Damn, I'm going to. I said Daniel Jones was 6th in quarterback rating. I dare you to make an argument. He was the 6th best quarterback in the league last year. He was purely a product of Brian Daboll's system, riding the coattails of Saquon Barkley. Guy threw less than 1 touchdown per game, and now you're seeing they paid him $160 million. And am I pinning that loss solely on Daniel Jones' shoulders? Am I pinning the San Francisco 49ers loss solely on him? No. But the reality is, when you make $40 million a year, it's your job to at least try to overcome some of those deficiencies on the team around you. Again, it doesn't help missing your running back. It doesn't help missing your starting left tackle. It doesn't help that your offensive line can't block. But if you're getting paid like a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league, you have to be able to put up a fight regardless of the situation. Daniel Jones isn't only losing, he looks helpless out there on the field sometimes.
So I think you can blame the offensive line for a little bit because the offensive line is terrible, but there are a few throws when you go into the game. Like I look at Mac Jones the other day against the Cowboys when he ran left, ran right, later left, and then threw back across the body. That's just something you can't do. Like that's something can't be done. Daniel Jones, you had time on the 99-yard or 100-yard interception return for a touchdown. You had time. You can't throw the ball there. That just can't happen. The fumble, the strip sack on Daniel Jones. You got to know people are coming from behind. You're not that fast. It's been 3 seconds. You got to throw the ball out of bounds. Like there's just things that he's doing that aren't necessarily good, no matter if he has an offensive line or a running back. So that's the things to be concerned about. Giants suck anyways. We're on to Thursday night football, Grant. And before we talk about that, you need to subscribe to the YouTube channel. The views have been going up, people. We appreciate it.
Yep, and the views might go down from the New York audience on this one. We're sorry, but guys, if you are a true sports bettor, you put your biases aside. And like Tanner said, we were 4-0 on those picks on Monday Night Football. So damn it, we are back and we're trying to do our absolute best with these Thursday Night Football picks that we are about to give you.
We have a big game on Thursday night, Grant. The 0-4 Chicago Bears.
I don't know why, but when you said you have a big game, the Eye of the Tiger soundtrack started running through my head. And now I'm just here, like, can Justin Fields and crew get their first win of the season?
The 0-4 Chicago Bears, led by Matt Eberflus, will travel to the nation's capital to battle the team that's changed their name 15 times in the past 2 years. The Washington Commanders. 2-2 Commanders led by Sam Howell, who allegedly is a franchise quarterback.
Did you see him lead a game-tying drive with less than 2 minutes left and 1 touchdown on the road against the Eagles?
I didn't know you get paid tie games in the NFL. Oh, wait, they lost in overtime.
Well, that's a Rivera thing. I think we talked about that on Monday. That's a Rivera thing.
It is. That was stupid. He's like, my offense was tired. We'll suck it up for one more play. What makes you think?
And you don't think the Eagles' defense was tired? Like, they were out there on the. It's more tiring when you're getting beat up on defense than it is when you're crushing on offense.
Yeah, I look at those situations too, which I don't understand from coaches. Like UConn did it the other day. You guys are 0-4. What the hell do you have to lose? Like against Utah State, and they got a PAT block to lose the game. Like you got nothing to lose. You're not winning the NFC East. You're not beating the Eagles long term. So what the hell? Go for the win. Like it's not like you're the Buffalo Bills and you're playing against the Miami Dolphins. It's the AFC Championship game and you're trying to, go to the Super Bowl. It's not like that. So week 4. But anyways, Grant, the frozen tundra of Washington FedEx Field. Is
It's
it
actually
still?
pretty nice out here. It was about 80 degrees yesterday.
It was. It was. Well, it's going to be a nice day for probably the Washington Commanders. The spread opened at 7.5. It's now down to 5.5 on FanDuel, 6 on DraftKings. A lot of people hammering the Bears, Grant, but you got a spread play in this game.
Yeah, so first of all, if you got the Bears at +7, +7.5, then you're riding with your feet kicked up. That's where I went earlier in the week. I'm not gonna hide anything. So my personal bet, it's not fair because the line has moved since then, but I would most likely be on the Bears at +6. That being said, teams that are 0-4 only cover 40% of the time since 2005. So the trends are telling you to ride with the Commanders here. The Bears are also 0-3-1 against the spread, while the Commanders, I believe, are 2-0. Interesting note here, and this relates to the total. The Bears, despite them being so putrid and failing to win a game, they're 4-0 with the over. And if you're looking at this Washington defense, this supposedly vaunted Washington defense that top 10, top 7 on paper, but I think they're like 20th or 21st in yards allowed, and they've given up 30 plus points in 3 straight games, which leads into a pick that you have.
So I can't pick a side in this game as far as a spread goes because I'd like the Bears at 7.5. Again, I don't trust them though at 7.5. I don't trust the Commanders to cover that big of a number. I don't trust the Bears to cover that big of a number. So I think if I had to do something with like a side, I would parlay Washington's money line with somebody that I also trust on Sunday, potentially the Ravens at -188 against the Steelers on the money line. But the thing I'm looking at is the over in this game. The Commanders, yes, they have such good defense, blah, blah, blah. Allegedly, but as Grant was saying, they've given up 30 plus in the past 3 games. One was against the Buffalo Bills, one was against the Eagles, so the Bears definitely don't have that powerful of an offense, but you're giving up 33 points to the Denver Broncos. Just simply can't happen. On the other side, the Bears have given up 38 to the Packers, 27 to the Buccaneers, 41 to the Chiefs, and 31 to the Denver Broncos. So that Broncos matchup's a good indicator between both sides. Each team can give up 30 points in this game with ease. And Justin Fields did look a lot better last week. So that makes you think that, hey, this might be an over kind of game with him. So that's what I'm looking at in this one, the over. I hate primetime overs. I don't like it with rookie quarterbacks. And I still look at Justin Fields as a rookie, honestly, because he's not there yet.
Sam Howell, too. This is only his, 6th game?
Yeah. So like they're both sophomores, but they're rookies in my mind. So yeah, it's a game that I probably would lean over on for this one.
Yeah, I think that's a very solid pick, considering everything that you were talking about. There is always the worry with the nighttime under or the nighttime overs rather. But I think, let's see, I'm trying to remember that we started the season off with an under in Lions Chiefs. Second week of the season, don't remember. Do you remember who was on Thursday Night Football in week 2?
No.
Anyway, I think the under's like 3-1. I think the under's like 3-1 on Thursday Night Football so far this season. But to your point, neither one. First of all, the Commanders' defense is underperforming. Yes, the Bears' defense is just. It is what it is. Like they're giving up, I think, the second or third most points in the league. They're just not very good. And both these quarterbacks, as you were saying, played well last week. Howell only threw 1 touchdown, but he drove down the field 80 yards, less than 2 minutes, 1 touchdown, threw a touchdown as time expired. So we know that they can score points in a hurry as well. I think a lot of things lead into the over, even if that's a little unpopular in prime time.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Player props.
You want to take this over to player props now?
Yeah, I can start with this one. I got a banger here.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so I'm going to go with Khalil Herbert over 45.5 rushing yards. Khalil Herbert kind of working in that 2-back system with him and Rashawn Johnson the first few weeks of the season. He was getting 9 carries, 7 carries, and 7 carries. Even then, though, he averaged 3 yards a carry, which wasn't great against the Packers, but 5 yards a carry against the Bucs, and then 4 yards per carry, 4.4 against the Chiefs. So he's been productive even when he wasn't getting those big carry numbers. Last week, it seems like the team finally went with him. I think he is the better back out of the two. He had 18 carries for 103 yards, 5.7 yard average per carry, to a long carry of 24 yards. So I think Khalil Herbert's going to get plenty of time in this game. I think he's now the feature back, or that's what it seems a little bit. So that's one area to look for, his rushing total at 45.5. They don't have attempts up yet. That could be something to look at too, because it's probably going to be put a little lower because sportsbooks are still thinking that there might be a 2-horse race there, 2-horse system. I don't think that's going to be the case though. I like Herbert over his yards against this Washington Commanders team.
Yeah, Herbert should be the featured back in the system. He led the league amongst qualified rushers and yards per carry last week. Unsurprising that when he gets a decent workload and when he can get a nice rhythm going, that he ends up having a pretty great game. And this Washington defense is only 21st in rushing yards allowed. Really, the strength of their defense is getting after the quarterback. Sometimes it's that age-old phenomenon where if you're facing a team with a great pass rush, you run straight at them because it takes them out of their rhythm. I think that's what you're going to see from the Bears here. And even if they finally start to give Justin Fields more designed runs, all that's going to do is open up different running lanes for Herbert. So I think the over here is a good play for him.
I love it. I love it. I think this is a big play for him. I think he's going to take off. This is going to be an offensive game. Whether it gets over or not, I don't think this is a game defined by defense.
I think they're going to be stats. What I'm going to be looking at to decide it all is if there are turnovers or not. I think that will largely drive whether we go over or under, but I do think there's going to be the raw statistics to push it to the over. My best bet here, or one of them, I'm going to give out two. One of them is Justin Fields over 247.5 rushing plus passing yards combined. Now he has split this over twice or two times in 4 games so far this season. Just had the best game of the year and one of the best games of his career last week. 335 passing yards, 25 rushing yards. Kami's, like I said, 21st in rushing yards allowed, 20th in passing yards allowed. So both relative weaknesses that Fields can exploit here. Now it is a short week, and the Bears do have to travel on the road, which is always something to monitor. Maybe it doesn't look great from their prospects of winning the game, but I think Fields, finally has a bit of momentum. I'm sure he was crushed. You can see the look on his face after the Bears lost last week, but he looked better, and hopefully the Bears just opened up the playbook for him. I don't know why they insist on trying to make him a statue pocket passer. You got to blend in some of his dynamicism and his athleticism, allow him to run the ball. But if they do that, I think he has a really good chance to go over.
I agree with that, Grant. I think this is a big, big play. I think those two are both viable betting options. I think we're going to see a lot of offense, as I said. So I'd rather trust Chicago here, too, because I see them playing from behind a little bit in this one. If Washington can put some drives together, that's going to force the Bears to throw the ball a little bit and then, keep pounding with Herbert. So I do like both guys to go over their total.
Do you have another player prop here?
Honestly, this is a pretty light betting game for me. I would probably tail you on the Justin Fields pick. I like Khalil Herbert. But yeah, I'm just going with the over. I think I'm going to take the over. I might take a little same game parlay alternate over that I can cook up here. I would take the over 40.5. So this is going to be a banger right here. Ready for this?
All right, let's go.
All right. So first things first, we're going to pair it with the Commanders on the money line. That's number one for the same game parlay. That we need an alternate total. So if I go to the over here, my over.
This is live. The magic's happening live.
No, I'm cooking. I was cooking this up in my head the whole time. So the alternate, well, kind of. I mean, I'm going to go 40.5 alternate total over that. Okay, so we're at plus 107 right there, just commies and over 40.5. Now we're going to add in a touchdown score. I like Brian Robinson Jr. to find the end zone.
This is my favorite player, or my other favorite player prop. This is the one I was going to talk about.
Okay, so I like him to find. I'm giving all the winners on this show. Brian Robinson to find the end zone, and then I'm going to go with a rushing yardage prop. I'm going to take an alternate line on Khalil Herbert just to be safe at 25 plus.
What? Let's see. We're looking at +3, +4, something odds there.
Plus 312 for Brian Robinson to score. Khalil Herbert 25 plus over 40.5 in Commanders money line.
I think that's really good. That Robinson Jr. leg, I do like it as a standalone bet as well. Doing a bit of line shopping, best odds I can find, plus 104 anytime touchdown score on Caesars. He has scored, he being Robinson Jr., in 3 of 4 games this season. Very much a central cog in that Washington offense. They give him a lot of attempts whenever he's near the goal line. Scored last week, would have had 2 scores if he hadn't fumbled as he was trucking the living hell out of one of the Eagles defenders at the goal line. Terry McLaurin recovered the fumble. They ended up being fine, but not the point. They give him a heavy workload in the red zone. He's caught touchdown passes. He's run for touchdowns. He gets the chances whenever they're near the goal line. And just like in fantasy football, all you're after with these yardage props or these scorer props is volume. Robinson Jr. has proven that he will get that.
Yep. Well, we got a lot of props. We got a lot of totals. We got a lot of spreads Thursday night football. We're making the most of this trash game on a Thursday night. Making the most of it. Amazon Prime, baby.
Yeah, not the best primetime matchups this week. Commies, Bears on Thursday, and then Packers, Raiders on Monday. You were saying that's a better game. I think Thursday's gonna be a little more interesting just because I think I think the Raiders are terrible, and I think the Bears maybe are more exciting than Packers are.
I just mean competitive wise too. Like I'm sure that spread's a lot tighter, right? It's 1.5.
It's 1.5, yeah.
So, like I'd rather take the worst two teams in the world and stick them in prime time just because it's going to be a really competitive game. Where this one, it's like I think it's going to be competitive, but also the Bears are really bad and the Commanders still got a lot of work to do, in my opinion.
I was surprised that Monday night game was only what 1.5 though. Are you? 'Cause I feel like it should be Packers like 3.5.
Nah, Jordan Love sucks too. So
Yeah, but Jimmy G might not even play, and then Aiden O'Connell's there. And if Jimmy G does play, he has 6 interceptions in 3 games.
but from what I remember, at least the Raiders this weekend actually competed with the Chargers a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, that's true.
Aiden
But
O'Connell,
have you been
24.
following the what's going on in the locker room? Like Max Crosby, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, pretty much all saying we don't want to be here anymore.
A little bit. I mean, I know the Chandler Jones stuff that was going on, but
Yeah, that team's a mess right now. But I mean, that's Monday night's game, and we're gonna be here on Monday, and we'll be giving out some best bets for that game. We don't want to spoil it too much.
keep following the page, keep subscribing. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're going to start going live with this on Monday mornings, probably, potentially Wednesdays, but I think we might do one live show a week. So just keep that locked in your head. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. Grant, take us out of here.
Like Tanner said, before you click off this video, you got to do one thing, and that is press that subscribe button. We'll be back on Friday for our best bets of the weekend. But before then, drop some comments. Let us know what your favorite picks, whether it's game lines or player props for Thursday Night Football are. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all next time on the next episode of Ride the Line.